have breaking news out of H&W Welders this evening as the club have announced that winger Kyle Fisher will be leaving the club in January for French side Sochaux for a Premiership record fee of £1.3 million. And Aussie villain, the manager of Welders, has had this to say just moments ago. I had to do it. We were going to lose him for nothing in January. Why, Kyle? Why didn't you just sign a new friggin' contract when I offered it to you? The back post, it's never going to be the same again. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to Season 11, Episode 9 here at H&W Welders on The Impossible Dream. And today it is a big day. We face Celtic as we look to keep our European hopes alive. Anything other than victory will end our season in Europe. And then it's going to be Glenavon in the league. A bit of a maybe not the greatest game, but an important game nonetheless as we look to win a league title. But if we're going to win a league title, we're going to have to do it without Kyle Fisher. We've sold him $1.3 million. He's still with us till obviously the January window opens. So January 4th, he'll go off to France. I didn't want to sell him, but his contract was up at the end of this season, which means that come January, he could have signed for somebody else for nothing. So I thought, rather than lose him for nothing, let's at least get a fee. And annoyingly, he just made his Wales debut as well. But $1.3 million is not a bad fee, I suppose. I would have liked to have got a sell on for him, but we weren't really in a position to negotiate. But we got him for free. Last season he was superb. Yeah, and he'll move on to France, and who knows, maybe he won't work out there. We can get him back at some point. But yeah, obviously it's a massive disappointment to lose Kyle Fisher, but he is leaving us in January. So enjoy him while he's here, because he's got about another probably episode to go after this one. But we have some games to catch you up on, 4 of them in fact. The first one was, I think it was against Ballymena United. So let's go catch up on that one. We took an early lead when Dylan Lake found McDade unmarked on the goal line. And it was 2-0 moments later when McDade tucked in his own rebound. Ellis crossed for Fisher at the back post to make it 3-0 before McDade completed his hat-trick before half-time. And Armstrong played in McDade to get his 4th in the second half. So there we go, too good for them. Dylan Lake was amazing. Fisher at the back post. Oh, we're going to miss that, aren't we? And McDade with 4 goals to just make sure that we all know that he is still our number 1 man in the league, and he is still chasing down this goal-scoring record as well. But yeah, 30 shots, 10 on target, 5 goals. Not a bad afternoon's work. So that was it for the league. Next up, we went to play Linfield. This was the League Cup quarterfinal, I think. Yes, it was. Just had a quick check. So League Cup quarterfinal against Linfield. Not the easiest game, obviously. But let's see how we did. We went in front early when McQuaid found Rory King unmarked. But Linfield were quickly level. Chambers played in Diora early in extra time to restore our lead, before Turpey sealed the tie. So there we go, it took extra time, but we did manage to see offline. You can see it wasn't the greatest performance from us. Bringing Diora on changed the game. We took Simpson off, went 2 up top. Turpey with a penalty there as well. He dove for the penalty, but picked himself up and put it away, so I guess we'll forgive that. But yeah, into the semi-finals we go. We're going to be playing Larne in the semi-final. Next up, it was the Caramel Wafer Cup. It was a quarter-final against Bangor City of Wales. So let's see if we could take another step towards defending that delicious trophy. Napoleon got free of the Bangor defence to give us the lead. Bangor City were quickly level, but McGreevy slipped in Davidson to restore our lead, before Davidson added a 3rd before half-time. And unfortunately, again, the game just decided not to save any of the goals that happened in the second half. So Lake and Napoleon each got a goal in the second half. They did get a second, but we were too good for them, and we saw them off quite comfortably in the end. And it's going to be Rangers reserves in the semi-final of that competition. Final game to catch you up on, County Antrim Shield semi-final. It was against Glentoran. Let's go see if we could. They've had a bit of a good time against us in the Cups. Let's see if we could get one back on them here. It took until extra time before Scully gave us the lead. but Diora was caught in possession for Glentoran to send it to penalties, where Davidson missed our first kick, which cost us the tie. So there we go. We had a bit of an off day. Another game where we just couldn't put our chances away. Their goal, it was a good goal, wasn't it? But a little bit unlucky. It is what it is. It's the County Antrim Shield. We don't particularly care, but you never want to lose once you've played the game. But there we go. So let's have a look and see what that has done for competitions. And we can see we are still top of the table, though it's a three-way tie. Look at that between ourselves, Linfield, and Larne after 13 games. As I say, Champions League, we have to win, or else it is European campaign over. Even any chance of a parachute will go because Marseille have a better head-to-head over us. And what else we've got? We've got an all-island final. So we'll be playing Dundalk in that. That's a new one. Wasn't expecting that, but we've got the extra game there. You can see Rangers reserves in the Caramel Wafer Cup. We've got Larne in the League Cup. And is there anything else that's happened? We got knocked out of the County Antrim Shield. We haven't got a draw yet for the Irish Cup. So lots and lots of cups. Look at that. But anyway, let's go and have a look and see what we're doing here. It's Celtic first up. And, well, we're expecting a 4-4-2 from them. We are away from home for this one. So we're going to try something. You can see here, we're going to try two up top. The reason for this is that away from home, the way we have been playing at home in the Champions League like this isn't working for us away from home. We've been fairly well beaten twice, although Marseille maybe were a little bit unlucky. So we're just going to try something a little bit different. So Zayanetti goes in goal. Martin, Lewis, and Simpson, the three centre-backs to try and counteract the two forwards. They're going to be playing Monaghan down the right, Ellis down the left. Davies, who we have been using as a left wing-back or full-back, we're going to try him in there as a defensive midfielder. He's got good work rate, good vision, good passing and tackling. So we'll just see how he gets on. Munier is going to play box-to-box next to Armstrong. Turpie and Davidson will go up top. We're just basically resting McDade, keeping him fresh for the league. Where is he here? Yeah, so that kind of is what it is. We've got a couple of low knees in as we look to try and replace Fisher. This is somebody who could come in and do it. Dribbling and crossing is decent. Yeah, I'm seriously considering Rui George, or however you say that. But anyway, that is the team we're sending out here. We have to win. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so we can see the team sheets there. I mean, it's a decent team, isn't it? We did get a point off them at home, so you never know. But we're huge underdogs here. Let's just say no pressure on the performance. Show them what you've got. Maybe we can get on board with that. Turpie's looking nervous. I mean, you're only starting a Champions League game, mate, and you're 16. I don't see what there is to be nervous about. So, but there we go. He's motivated now. While we're waiting for the game to get underway, I should say, too, that those games, all those cup games, took place during an international window. So that's what I mean. We had at times stronger team out than I would have liked, at times a weaker team out. But that's the reason. You may have noticed the team selection was a little bit all over the shop, and it's because it was during an international break. But this is. I mean, there is really no pressure. We've got a goal difference of -7, and all those, of course, we haven't lost the game at home yet. We've got 0-0 against Celtic, 1-1 against Marseille. If we get another point off of City, we'll be cheering. But yeah, we'll try something different here. Try the two up top. I mean, we're looking more using the strikers as much as anything as sort of almost defensive players, marking the fullbacks getting forward. I did toy with the idea of putting in a number 10, and we might even do that, but we'll wait and see. You know, as long as we've got a point, we'll try and cling on desperately to that. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Of course, I say if we don't win this, it's over. But of course, there is always a scenario where we could beat Manchester City, Marseille could beat Celtic, and maybe we can still overtake them if it is a draw, assuming that they don't end up with a head-to-head on us here. And the linesman is standing still. Are we going to check VAR? It's an offside potentially. Usually these are given, aren't they? It's not the ideal start. Barely a minute into the game. But it has been disallowed for offside. So let's maybe just give it a focus. He has just gone ever so slightly early. A bit of a worry that we've got basically 6 defenders. And he managed to just walk himself in there. But that's fine. No harm, no foul, as they say. And we'll continue on here. We've got another highlight for Celtic. We'll see what we can do. That's another ball into the box. That one's onside. And we didn't learn a lesson, did we? So that is frustrating. Let's give them a berating. I'm wondering if the team talk hasn't quite worked out here. I mean, Lewis is supposed to be on the cover, and he's certainly not on the cover there, is he? Zayanetti, I mean, could he have come out a little bit more aggressively, perhaps? But there we go. We've had a shot. That's something. Give him some encouragement here. We're looking nervous, which isn't ideal. Here we go. Armstrong with a set piece. It's a decent ball in there, but the goalkeeper just a little bit too close to him, really, wasn't it? Needed to be a little bit more on the edge of the 6-yard area. Ball forward. We'll pick that up with Monahan. He's playing instead of Hill, just because he is a little bit more natural playing as a wing-back. There's the ball over the top. Jackson is in behind. Is he onside? Zayanetti makes the save. And he was onside. How are we defending here? That should be okay. Let's try lowering the tempo maybe and looking for the overlaps. See if that works for us. Come on, boys. Away, please. Oh, it is fine, apparently. We're looking nervous and anxious. Yeah, it's all going a little bit wrong here. Davidson back to Meunier. If we could get a goal, it would build the confidence. Cross in, headed away. And can we win this back, please? And thank you, guys. Fred Simpson turns like the Queen Mary. Can he get back? He can't. It's 2-0. And, well, there's a chance that this experiment isn't quite working, isn't there? I mean, Simpson, look at this. He just took forever to turn. By the time he turned around, Jackson was 5 yards behind him. Decent finish. Could Zayanetti have done a little bit better, perhaps. But the sad fact is, I don't think this is going particularly well for us. Let's give it a calm down, maybe. A lot of anxious, frustrated players. I'm going to say it's not working as is. So since we're experimenting and the game's essentially gone anyway, let's take off Davies. Let's push Armstrong forward. Let's get Meunier. He's better box to box. So let's get LM in going. What do we want you to do? Who's the better player here as a playmaker? It is probably LM in, isn't it? I mean, he's not a great playmaker, but we'll just get him on the ball and see what he can do for us. And, yeah, be a little bit more attacking. We need goals. You know, obviously a loss to Celtic is going to end our campaign anyway, so we might as well have a crack at it. Am I pleased with that? I mean, I'm not. Let's go with unlucky, yeah, since there's not a great deal of confidence going around there. And you know what we'll do is individually, let's tell players that aren't playing well, you need to watch your step, but we'll tell them that they're not playing well and hopefully individually get a bit better of a performance out of them. I mean, if you get sent off, you get sent off, I suppose. He's demotivated now. That was always going to happen, wasn't it? Meunier, he does have a bit of a knock, but we kind of needed him. Let's leave the strikers. Let's get Armstrong. What's your name? Davidson, sorry. Not happy with you. And let's see what we can do. We've got an uninspired Ellis. If the number 10 works, I will be slightly annoyed because I almost started with that and I thought, no, that's probably a little bit too attacking, but here we are. Turpey, can he get to that? Not quite. Just beaten to it. Can Meunier win it back for us? Come on, boys. Let's put some pressure on them here. I wonder, actually, if we do it, speaking of putting pressure on them, go and try and, instead of being so compact, actually go and try and close them down a little bit. Come on. Oh, it's a good finish. He's bent it around and inside the post. And, yeah. It's not quite going to plan, is it, this one? 3-0, we're getting a little bit of a lesson on the road. And whilst they haven't necessarily completely ripped us apart, we've not really been in the game. Yeah, it's a good finish, isn't it? That might be, let me know what you guys think, that might be one of those where there's not too much we could have done. Let's try another berating. See if it works for us. But I don't think the experiment of, you know, 2 up top has necessarily worked here for us, has it? In hindsight, we may have just been better off just sticking with what we were doing and trying to take a point from them. And we're getting absolutely torn a new one here. That is offside, so a little bit lucky there. Monahan's only playing a 6-1, but we'll just kind of leave him out there. There's no point bringing Hill on at this point. Can we try a no-pressure shout? What does that do? We've injured Davidson. All right, well then I guess we'll bring Napoleon on to play up top. Let's try something a little bit different here. Let's try Turpey up top, an advanced playmaker, and maybe well, just an attacking midfielder. That's fine, in behind him, and see if that gets us anywhere. It's just generally speaking not been a great performance from us, though, has it? We've been completely outplayed. It's another, well, comfortable defeat on the road. And, yeah. Back to the drawing board. That wasn't a pleasing performance. I'm really not pleased with that, guys. So there we go. Manchester City beat Marseille. We are officially out of Europe. Even if we win the last game, of course, Marseille have the head-to-head over us. So it all ends in disappointment. Now, this Brendan Davidson injury is about a month, so that could be worse, but well, it's not ideal either. We're knocked out of Europe, as I said, and the Northern Irish boss was looking at players. Well, he wouldn't have liked what he saw too much of anything there. Guys, wait right there, though. We are back for a league game against Glenavon. It is an important one. They're not the worst team this season. They're sitting there in 6th, and it's obviously a very, very tense title race, so we can't afford too many drop points. Okay, welcome back. I'm still disappointed by that Celtic result, but let's put that behind us. I did want to sort of fill you in on one of the youngsters. Now, you may remember Ian Miss Kelly that came through our academy, and I wasn't really sure what he was going to be. He's just turned professional, and what he's going to be is potentially a very, very good player. He's coming along amazingly well, really, really training on, and still only 1.5 current ability with a lot more potential to go. So he's becoming something. Still not sure what it is, but he is becoming something. Potentially maybe a box-to-box midfielder, but his passing's coming. Well, you can see yourselves. Everything is coming along very, very nicely indeed. So that is excellent. We'll continue to try and give him a few games in the first team. You'll see this year 5 starts and 3 off the bench, and we'll just keep doing that with him and just trying to keep this development going, because he's, as I said, looking like he could be a good player for us. But we're playing Glenavon, as I said. We're expecting a 4-2-3-1 formation from them, and this is the team we're sending out. Zanetti in goal. It's Davies, it's Lewis, McMenemy, and Hill as the back 4. McQuaid and McGreevy in midfield. It is Fisher, potentially one of the last times we'll see him. Napoleon and Lake. McDade goes up top, chasing down that goal-scoring record. He currently has 15 of the 42 he needs. Let's see if he can add a couple more to that today. Okay, so we can see the team sheets there. Will Hall, who was in the center of our defense for a little while, is there. Zuvaloon, who was a bit of a record of scoring against us, but no other former players of ours are there. What do we want to say? All right, we'll go with the assistant against my better judgment, and we'll get out there and see what we can do. And hopefully what we can do is score some goals, because, yeah, I mean, it's always disappointing, just sort of going on about the Celtic game again. I thought what we were doing there with the 2 up top and, putting pressure on them at the top might actually work for us, and then we'd still, of course, have the 3 centre-backs. I thought we'd be still pretty solid and maybe have a threat on the break, but obviously I was wrong. It's really disappointing when you just spend time trying to get something like that done and it just does not work. But yeah, I know there's a lot of you guys saying in the comments after yesterday's episode that we need a better striker or better strikers for Europe. Davidson has not done it at the Champions League level. He was good for us last year in Europe in the Conference League. Obviously, it's a big step up though. There's a McGreevy pass forward. Lake blocked away. Yeah, so he was really good at the conference level, but he's not really taken that step up. I do think McDade and Davidson are both more than good enough to play in the domestic games, and Turpey as well. Still a youngster, though, of course, but I think he's going to be at that level, if not even a little bit better. Here we go, Hill getting forward, dinks it in, Lake is there, and Dylan Lake with a 7th of the season gives us a nice early lead away at Glenavon. We'll give him some praise for that. And yeah, good stuff. So yeah, I mean, the problem that we're going to have, it's always with strikers, isn't it? It's the sort of striker that we need that is going to be able to score in the Champions League. I mean, will they come to Wolf Welders? And even if they do, can we afford to bring them in? So that's the difficulty I think we're going to have. But we do have the 1.1 million in the transfer kitty that we got from selling Fisher on. So there might be a chance to do something in January, and McMenemy puts it just wide. So yeah, we'll see if there's anything we can do in January, but it might be a case of, given that we're out of Europe, and unless there's somebody that is actually going to come in and be that man for us. I think I'd rather use the second half of the season to give game time to Turpie and give him a chance to develop, because he could be quite good. And, I mean, even McDade, he's still got a little bit of room to grow. No, he's pretty much maxed out. And, well, Dior is the other one that we have right now. I mean, he could be upgraded on. There's no doubt about that. Though he is very effective coming off the bench for us. But, yeah, what we're going to have to try and do is either pick up a really good youngster that gets released or is transfer listed, or find somebody that is trailed. Lake's done brilliantly there. What a first touch. What a second touch. Dylan Lake. That is a thing of beauty. A really, really nice goal there. The first touch to get past the defender. The second touch to put it in the back of the net. And whoever got the assist there, was it Hill? No, McQuaid. Look at that first touch. And the second touch wasn't bad either, was it? Wonderful stuff from Dylan Lake. He's someone that we would like to keep at the club, I think. Particularly now that Fisher is leaving. He is sort of I wouldn't say the only left-footed guy we have, but he's certainly the best left-footed guy we have. Fisher all over the bar. We do have Rory King, of course, who's left-footed, but he can't really cross. He's more of a dribbler, and we've seen him play quite well coming in off the right. And we have, of course, Kian Scully, who we've got on loan to play right wing this season as well as Jacobs. So it might be a case of, yeah, we need to get another left-footed player in. We have Rui Jorge, or Jorg, or whatever you say that. Look at Lake go. Is he going to get himself a hat-trick? He's done really well again. Dylan Lake, a hat-trick inside 37 minutes. And, well, what a day he is having. And he's done that one pretty much all himself. There wasn't too much on here. McQuaid has stolen an assist, gets past his man again, and it's almost a carbon copy of the last goal. Just crossed the goalkeeper in the back of the net. He is having a wonderful day, old Dylan Lake. As I said, he's someone I would really like to get in. He is on loan from Liverpool, so that might make... Oh, if they've pulled one back there. That might make it a little bit difficult to prize him away, but equally, he might be someone we can keep loaning and loaning and loaning until his contract's up. So we'll kind of hope that that's the deal, and, we kind of wear him down until he decides he does actually want to be a welder full-time. But that's a disappointing goal. At 3-0, you'd say the game is over. But obviously at 3-1, there's still a chance. Fisher goes back to McGreevy. McQuaid, not too much space there for him. McGreevy again. Can he pick a pass? Napoleon, Lake, Napoleon. Oh, it's a wonderful ball. McDade gets another goal towards his record attempt. 16 he has now. Most of those, if not all of them, are in the league. And it's a goal fest in the first half. 4-1. And there's still a few minutes to go yet as well. But this was nicely worked. McGreevy to Napoleon Lake, and, well, a hat-trick and an assist is not a bad afternoon's work for Dylan Lake, is it? But that is all looking very good. McQuaid on a booking. We do have Al Emin and Chambers, who we could bring on for him. Davies and left-back and McMenemy at centre-back have bookings as well. We'll say don't get complacent, but to be honest, we've played pretty well there, haven't we? There's more to come from you all. And complacent-looking Davies and on a booking. I almost played Albar in this one, just to give him some game time, but I didn't want to put out too weak of a side, just in case. But as it turns out, we probably could have got away with him, and he's not a bad player himself out there. He's the young Norwegian left-back we signed on a free transfer after West Brom released him, if you maybe don't remember. McDade gives the ball away, but it's one straight back. Ball wide, looking for Lake. Nods it down for Davies. Back to Lake. Can he get himself a second assist? Not right there, he can't. Can he win it back? No, but it's pumped forward. Lewis is there. Knocks it down for McGreevy. McQuaid gets it forward for Lake. Lake to McDade. Can McDade get himself another goal? No, not the best finish we'll see from him. And that is that. We've got a corner. Napoleon to take. Decent to the back post. It's a good header, and it's McDade with a second of the game. A 17th of the season, and it's 5-1 early in the second half. And, well, that's the game done. Now we've got to see how many McDade can get towards this record attempt of his. Really good head up. I didn't think it was McDade at first because I thought it was a player on a booking, but it was the Glenavon player that was on the booking. Is there anybody we want to give game time here to? Not necessarily. Again, I kind of wish I had Albar on the bench, to be honest. We could have brought him on for Davies. I have had a look at spending some of the Fisher money. We have 1 or 2 bids in. I can't remember now. If anything, obviously, I'll show you any signings that do come in. But there's a few players that I've sort of got my eye on, but their contracts are up at the end of the season. So rather than pay a fee for them now, I'm going to hope that McDade gets a hat trick. It's a cross from Fisher. And McDade has himself a third, 100th league goal of his career. And, well, the McDade goal-scoring train continues on. He has been a wonderful player for us, hasn't he? We signed him from Larne on a free transfer, I think it was, many seasons ago now. I think he was 18 at the time, 22 years old now, and he's not stopped scoring in those 4 years, has he? He's been wonderful. I always want to make a change just for the sake of making a change. Let's get McMenemy off. Let's get Coyle on. One of our youngsters, of course. He's been at the club for a while now. Very, very good defender he is as well. Absolutely wicked from a set piece, you may remember. Here we go with Hill. Chips it in. McDade. Can McDade get 4? Not there, he can't. And that is that. Yeah, Curtis Coyle. Very, very good in the air. And not too bad mentally either. So we'll give him some game time here. We're getting to that point, and we had the same sort of situation at Barlett Town last FM, where we're sort of developing so quickly as a club that, I mean, 2 seasons ago, Coyle would have been first choice. But, I mean, we're able to get such good quality players in on loan, and obviously we can sign better players now as well, that Coyle may well find himself just being left behind. Here we go with Lake. One thing I do need to be conscious of, though, is making sure we have the club-qualified players for Europe. McDade! Oh, that's a stunner! Aaron McDade, a goal of the season contender. He's hit 4 in a game for the second game in a row that he's played. It's probably the second league game in a row, actually. It's 7-1, just quietly. We're absolutely putting Glenavon to the sword. Celtic seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? And McDade, that is absolutely stunning. If only we could do something like that in Europe. But there we go. A wonderful strike from McDade. Is that going to end it? It is. 7th heaven for the Welders. 4 from McDade. 3 from Lake. They've both played themselves a 10. And that is up there with the best performances we've seen from our team, I think. So we can see the other results. Linfield and Larne have both won as well. So we're all still a 3-way tie, at 34 points. But our goal difference is looking very, very healthy. So it is 7th heaven for Harland and Wolf Welders. Top form for McDade. That's another 4 that he has. Now, how many is that in the league now? That is 19 from 12 games. That is absolutely stunning. I put it there so you can see it a little bit easier. He's 101 from 101 now career-wise as well. What a player he is. And you do wonder a little bit if another team's going to come in for him. But he might be in that sweet spot where he's not quite good enough to leave the league, but he's definitely good enough to dominate it. So let's hope we've got ourselves our own little Shane Lavery, that, of course, has killed us for so many years at Linfield. But there we go, guys. That is it for today. If you've enjoyed that, hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Europe is over. We will come back and sort of see out the group stage. I'm not necessarily sure we want to, but we will. So next episode, it will be the first leg of this Irish Champions Cup thing, and then we'll host Manchester City in our final Champions League game of the season. And, well, it can't go that wrong, can it? Take care.